That's right, it is the end of week number 6 here in the LPL, and a day that will not be forgotten easily as well. End of week 6, and moving on with the journey, we return again to Beijing, where we have been for the past couple of weeks, considering we've seen a lot more of RNG and a lot more of JDG, who set up their home in Beijing as well. But today, RNG kick us off, and the crowd is out in force. That's what you get when you have such a dominant 2018. The crowd behind them as much as a team like RNG. And there is a lot of support for Xiaohu in the crowd. RNG changed their style a little bit, and V5 will know that coming into RNG's arena. V5 have been the team that have been upsetting and going full frontal with, I'd say, arguably some of the bigger dogs here. Oh, what is that Riven play? No, stop it. Of course, Jinoo. Like, who knew? Has played a lot of Riven so far, as you get a sneak peek in of RNG entering the arena, Uzi and AmezingJ. I would also say that AmezingJ is my new favorite player of RNG. I'll give you a sneak peek as to why a little bit later, but everyone's just looking down at mobiles. Come on, let's, Uzi, what are we looking at? He's actually just made his new Twitter account, by the way. It's a big heads up for you. Welcome back. My name's Jake Hysterics Aussie Pekka. This is Brento Raz Mohammed. Another great moment to enter you into the LPL, and another great day ahead, Raz.
I hope that Uzi's a little bit more awake, because he was coming in with that bed head.
He was a little bit sleepy, yeah.
I know that he's situated fairly close to the venue there. Got to say that Victory 5 are ready to go. They were awake early, got into the shuttle, coming in prepared for the series. I want to see if RNG has that same energy.
I'd like to see that Jinoo's actually playing a bit of Riven to warm up his day as well. And why shouldn't he, after the recent performance from him against arguably the best other top laner in Zoom, if you're not counting out some of the other ones there. That's against JDG. V5, let's move on a little bit here, because I'm just going to fall off track. Today, we have got an absolute banger of a series of matchups for you. We have 3 because it is, quote-unquote hysterics, a super day again.
Another super day, as you would say. RNG going up against Victory 5 is the one that we're going to be kicking off, which is going to be wonderful to see. Like, explosive matchups through the mid lane and top side as we go on to the rest of the day. Yeah,
suiting OMG, that will take the middle of the cake. But our match of the week, Raz, IG and FPX, we've been waiting a long time for this series to come forward.
Yeah, I just wanted to see FPX challenge. We'll get right into it, but Invictus Gaming, a world championship team going up against the undefeated team in FPX, we want to see that one. We were really eyes on the calendar to see this day come together, and it seems like they're going to be able to see it. You see FPX 7-0.
Undefeated, they're having the IG run, and IG are having more of the RNG run. That's a whole whirlwind of comments to add into the mix, but there's a lot of focus on our top teams and the disruption of the top 8 still.
Yeah, top 8, if we were just to take a snapshot of playoff picture, that's taking Suning and Victory 5 out of the equation. We'll see both of these teams later on today, and it's just really impressive to see the run that Sino Dragons, that Billy has made, because if we're just talking about the expectation coming into the split, we expected Suning to be in top 3, let alone sitting outside of the playoffs. Now, that's insane to say that, and for Victory 5, the name, the caliber of players coming into it, we saw them coming just closing into the playoff bracket, but they're going to have to go really mano a mano as the weeks wind down up against Sino to be able to clinch that spot.
Yeah, I said it before, they're almost like disruptors, Victory 5, and they've got a almost world-class roster with them. They've got a world-class mid laner, technically, who has been in the shoes and has been in the opposite shoes of RNG, or rather Starhorn Royal Club in the past.
Yeah, when you're saying world-class, that's when you just look at your watch, you're like, all right, what year are we in?
What year
that's literally Season 2, when you're talking about how Royal Club at the time went to Worlds, and Korn and Cola, all of these players that you looked at the time, you're like, throw them to the side. It's Uzi carrying to that glory. You say, okay, we don't expect to see these players really come back into the limelight, but Korn has just defied all of that.
Yeah.
Really, when he went into the LSPL, the LDL, he's clawed his way back into the split, went into TOP last year and had the split of his life, and you saw the development for what is still a young player have such a monumental run. And the only reason we're not seeing him still on TOP is because they pick up that generational player of night. He would still be on that team making that run, but he's found himself on Victory 5 and he's still making that run. Take a look at the stats just right there. Flexible roamer is what I love to see, because the 3 champions that you see in the pool here, Galio, Urgot, and Zoe, that says a lot about his champion pool. Back in the day, it was like Orianna, Fizz, Echo, Talon, and then suddenly you're like, oh, that's a major drop-off of how he's effectively playing those pools. Right now, he's playing all of the meta picks. everything that is meta, he is playing to an exceptional degree, and you can just see it through the clips that we're running.
You said meta, Raz. It's a perfect keyword here, especially since Zoe is disgustingly meta in the LPL.
Yeah, and so Zoe is known for being so snowbally. If you get a run team fight, if you have mid lane turret taken down, and you have great vision control on your end, you're able to just run them down. Victory 5 don't necessarily have the vision control. That's one of their major weaknesses, but he's still able to make the plays come through. So Corn, effectively, I feel like working with not that much, still making a great deal of work. Just look at this team fight. Look how he's able to position, play it out. He gets kicked in, flashes right out, still in a really good spot. And working alongside Lei and Y4, he's able to save what was initially a poor team fight. So I think that Corn, he may not be pulling out the ace stats in comparison to our best in the league, but how he plays through the eye test, he passes with the greatest of ease.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Zoe and, like you said, roaming across the map. It's quite simple to put Corn in the upper echelon of mid laners at the very, very least. It is mainly about Corn in this matchup because, as we said before, there's a bit of history and mentioned, and it's great to see Uzi going up against his old mid laners. So I would also add into the mix that it's more than just about Corn in the mid lane. I like talking about this top laner known as Jinoo, who took his first loss on Riven, but he's still an absolute god with it.
That's it, as you can see. Like, Jinoo coming into the lineup is huge. He's been there, obviously, since day one, and he's able to showcase the Riven play. You saw him practice that up because that's the expectation. We already saw Viper coming in early today, having a poor performance. You know he's going to be picking up. Taking a look at RNG's team here. AmezingJ, Karsa, Xiaohu, Uzi, and Ming. From day one, we knew this would not be changing. AmezingJ would stay as your top laner. He's been coming up with exceptional poppy performances. And used to be seeing Karsa, right now, the best performing jungler in the LPL. He's been the one who's been carrying the early game.
MLXG will not be playing in spring. That is the official statement, but we move over to V5. Jinoo, Ben4, Corn, Y4, and Lei. And on the side note as well, Ben4's had a great performance too.
Yes. For Ben4, he's been picking up his laners. So the difference between Pepper and Ben4 is that Ben4 is just more so like he ganks for Corn, ganks for Jinoo. In fact, has been topside the most if we're looking at the junglers. Jungler proximity topside, he is second place on that one. He just goes top so frequently. And so, like, that's why you're starting to see Jinoo and Corn have such great performances. It's been Ben4 who's been backing them up so consistently.
It's quite difficult as well, especially when you're looking at some of the other junglers in the league, and there's a lot of topside priority with the top laners that we have in the league at the moment. And Ben4's been coming up absolutely massively, especially when he's had a year off from his previous performance on IME.
Yeah, and so like for him to be able to have that level of growth, because when he was on IME, he was second to a lot of the other shot callers. It was Road that was the major shot caller, who was AmezingJ, who was that shot caller. And so now it's, in this case, AmezingJ going up against, Ben4, former teammate. That's going to be really cool to see, because I feel like Ben4 now being put on Victory 5 has a major say on that team. He can say so much. So just taking a look at the top lane matchup, because Ben4 picks Jinoo up, and Jinoo right now is showcasing incredible, like, look at the solo kill, 7 that he's able to output. A CS difference at 15 that is just insane to say for a top laner who coming in that I wasn't personally high on because he was on LGD for so long, and I always wondered, okay, he's a mechanical like genius, but does he have the IQ? And I think he's able to give
Was
that
it the
one.
shadow of LGD, or was it Jinoo just being underplayed? Well, it seems to be the difference. AmezingJ, you might look at those stats at the CSD at 15 and go, oh, AmezingJ's not good. This dude is everywhere on the map. Like, AmezingJ just doesn't care.
He wants to get out of the laning phase.
Yeah.
He wants to be a part of the team fights. Like, the damage taken per deaths, that's what you see here, DT per D. He always tops that chart in the LPL. When he's on Bilibili, IMA, those iterations, he's always #1 because he wants to take as much damage as possible. He was known as the Streaker. He was playing Mundo and Singe. He wants to be a pure disruptor for the team. Poppy is in that same idea, in that same frame rate. So, like, this is what I'd love to see for AmezingJ, still being able to top that chart and be that tank for his squad. 3
games on Poppy. It seems like a signature pick between him and, as you mentioned off broadcast, ADD's been playing it as well. AmezingJ, 100% win rate on that, and you know how I love my stat.
Yeah, you love your stance. One thing that I'll say for Jinoo is the fact that when we were just taking a look at what the stat presented to us, the fact that he's still having the level of engages, 5 to 7. Jinoo on his Riven, he goes in.
Yeah.
So you got to be taking a look at that if he's able to pick it up right in the pick and ban.
Both fantastic top laners, both going to be showing in this series. RNG versus V5. A big one for RNG to move up that ladder and keep the momentum going. And for Disruptors in V5, let's have a look, because Olaf is banned away from Karsa, which he has just been shining on, but similarly to Ben 4's Gragas.
I wonder if the Cassiopeia is going to be banned here. A lot of teams in the LPL has been giving it away, not trusting that the mid laner, in this case Corn, would pick it up. But I think Y4 would love to be able to get his hands on it. We saw what BLG could do when you see Jin Zhao picking up the Cassiopeia. It's just so much strength in the bottom side of the map. This time around, they're calling on Victory 5. They're saying, you're not going to pick it up.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's calling a bluff, one bluff to another.
He locks it in.
Chase gone, that is just the Zoe locked on in.
How perfect is that?
Oh, yeah.
That we highlight Corn's Zoe and Victory 5 coming into it. It's like, of course, it's a no-brainer. Pick up the Zoe. We know how strong you are as the game goes on. That being said, like Xiaohu has this Syndra locked in, which is why the fact that you ban it away immediately is why they wanted to open it up. So banning Xiaohu's Syndra allows them to say we can actually pick it up into most matchups.
But now that RNG are playing a little bit more around that mid lane as well, remember something like the Rise is open, which has been his stock standard, or go-to rather, if they want to build around the composition.
Or the Aurelia, which is actually, for RNG, they say we have red side, we can wait till the last pick. I think the most important pick for right now, RNG, is the jungle option, which is that much more impressive. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Y4, what the hell?
You want to talk about jungle, Raz? We'll come back to it. Vayne Galio.
That is, I mean, they locked it in because they know they're going up against the Kaisa. That's fair. But they have themselves a Galio pick, knowing that they're, okay, that's a double counter. So for Victory 5, going Galio and Vayne into the RNG's options, that they know that they're more effective outside the laning phase and they'll be able to go through the laning phase just fine, as long as they have the stronger mid lane pick. So I love what Dog 8's actually been picked up for Victory 5. Yeah. I think their first 3 picks here are really well done. The only thing that they really have to worry about is wave clear options. Because if they fall behind with a Vayne and Zoe, it's much harder for them to clear out the full minion wave. They can clear out back wave with Zoe Q, but then it's to the front wave, the cannon minion. That's more difficult for a Zoe to really clear. So RNG, if they're behind, they can say we have Lissandra.
Yeah,
like,
very easy push.
We cool. So Victory 5 has to be able to get themselves an early game lead.
Very easy push from RNG. So Victory 5, how do they insinuate that further? They're banning away junglers, but easy response from RNG. Easy proximity from champions like the Lee Sin.
That's why right now Victory 5 needs a better jungle matchup. Because if RNG has the better jungle and a wave clear mid, then the Zoe option falls to the wayside. Right now, the Vayne and Galio bottom side of the map get out-pressured by the jungle. Yeah. Victory 5 needs a better jungle matchup, which is why I think Ben 4 would probably go towards a Xin Zhao. Jarvan being picked up makes it easier for Victory 5. Yeah,
so pretty expected with that lock-in as well. Just want to avert your eyes over to V5's final ban, of course, in this matchup. AmezingJ is not going to get his poppy this time around. Both upsetting and smart from V5.
Yeah, such a large disruptor. And right now they haven't picked up any champions that really has that necessary dash, but now that you see the lock-in, you realize why the Poppy had to get banned.
Yeah, so Camille is locked on in. Jinoo, game 3 against JDG, it was the hover, it was the smackdown.
You got to make up for Viper's performance. I'm going to just put this one out there. You want to lock in that Riven right quick. It would be a blind, So I was about to say, it would be a blind pick Riven. So most of the time you're looking at that, you're like, well, they're just going to pick like a Jax. I'd say a Jax would be something you'd be afraid of.
But at least this clears up some of the wave clear rather of V5. You know, there is a bit of pressure that can be built in the mid game too.
I wonder if AmezingJ is the type to go towards a Renekton, because Renekton is still left on the table. So Yorick makes a lot of sense here too, and you can still pressure up the top lane. So there's a lot of pressure top side of the map here for RNG.
Yorick has had a bit of an up and down couple of series over the past days of LPL, but AmezingJ was, I'd say, probably one of the first in the league to pick it up.
Yes, he definitely was. I think it was AmezingJ when he first came around just after Chinese New Year's that picked it up. But if you're going to go old school, and I mean literally just last year, that's not technically old school. It was Zoom that really picked up the pre-buffed Yorick.
Very true.
And so for AmezingJ to pick it up, one thing that I love about Yorick is that even if he falls behind here, if RNG says we're going full focus to the bottom side of the map, then suddenly Yorick is just split pushing. He's still fine. Trinity Force, focus on bot side with his wife, I think that's
In
where the
wife and
relationship...
4 sons,
Yes.
as I think AmezingJ put it.
And then suddenly you have just a split push win condition.
I'm glad to see AmezingJ will recoup up. You know, everyone's getting married in the LPL. Or at least one person is in Duo B. I don't know if that's everyone to you folks, but the
everyone.
Yorick, you know, everyone. Yorick going over to AmezingJ. Let's make that 2. Another stock standard pick, but it's kind of already exciting from the get-go, Raz. We see Korn, Zoe. We see another Vayne in the LPL where no other region is playing this AD carry. They're so worried about the weak laning phase, but in the LPL, we're still all about fighting.
I think 3 AD carries, Uzi, now I guess Y4, and LWX are just AD carries that would pick it up. So confident in their own mechanical abilities and saying that we have a good matchup, we should get out of the laning phase fairly fine, and then post laning phase I'll be on side lane, and Karsa suddenly could never pick up the extra waves, you know, on side, or she gets opened up by the Vayne. Or you go into team fights and who puts out more DPS against the front line. 100% the Vayne option. So we get to see how Y4 can play out these team fights. It's going to be a real test to him.
Super rough as well, meaning that Yorick, he wants to go for the Vayne. Well, he can actually just get himself condemned. Can he get condemned in his own cage?
Who?
Yorick.
Ooh, I don't know. I know that you can use it against the Cataclysm, so like
it can be super annoying. We'll find out if RNG are annoying enough for V5, because this for Korn has to feel just old school for him. We'll go into game 1. It's a story that can be told with plays rather than words. And we'll find out here in RNG's home arena in Beijing. So I'm just going to point out the V5 guy, and at the end, what we always miss is he's a fan of Jinoo, I found out.
Okay.
So I sat there with 2 people who helped me translate for 15 minutes for this, Raz, so I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, because we couldn't understand what they were saying purely because of how much screeching there was. A big fan of Jinoo, so he's followed Jinoo to V5, and he is the man that is screeching.
There we go. I mean, there's a lot of people that are screeching.
Sure.
That one, you can't really just put on the one man.
Well,
Korn starting out Sleepy Trouble Bubble here is what I want to point out.
Yep.
5 inspiration trees that could translate into stopwatches. Just taking a look at it. Just going to be the 2 stopwatches, because ordinarily you would either want a Biscuit or regeneration, or a, in one in particular, which is, ooh, I'm blanking on this one.
Footwear. Time Warp Tonic.
Time Warp Tonic. Easiest one. It makes it so your laning phase trades are much more, you know, reasonable. If you're going up against Ignite, which is much better than Exhaust, then you can deal with the Ignite all-ins a little bit better, getting half of the potions immediately. So that's usually something you would really want to pick up. So yeah, Inspiration right now is pretty busted when you can just go towards the rune stats, get 18 AP, or, you know, just adaptive damage.
Makes Time Warp Tonic makes pots absolutely cost efficient as well, just especially for that quick early trading.
Oh, here comes the Camille gang.
Speak of the devil. Ben is level 2. Glacier Path taken away from Xiaohu, so there's no real threat here from Ben 4. So we'll just walk through the line. And
the small details of it, Xiaohu leaning towards the Jarvan on the bot side just would make it really difficult for Ben 4 regardless. Karsa's just around here because Lissandra needs to get a shove off here, so just in case Ben 4 is looking for another cheeky game.
Well, he picked up level 3 off the mid lane wave as well, so Karsa can walk in here, has the smite available, is secured, but now has to get out. Korn coming in, remember, level 3 in the mid laner as well. 2v2 is again what we wanted to see. Flash burn early from Ben 4 means he's out of the fight. Korn has to flash as well. Picks up the smite because that's Zoe, but it doesn't matter. The summoner's in favor of RNG.
Yeah, just through consistent DPS, Karsa and Xiaohu have the obvious advantage. Ben 4 had to get up out of there, and Korn is like, well, I mean, what am I going to do here, really? So that's just both summoners for Korn being lost here is a major deficit to Victory 5.
See how quickly RNG were committing, though. Even Uzi and Ming having the shove down in the bottom lane, which is the benefit of the Karsa Alistar against the Vayne Galio in this lane. Made all the difference in the world.
I just can't stress enough to you how influential Karsa's been in this split.
Oh, yeah.
Really early on, too, and now he's able to push Xiaohu ahead in the game. Because not only was Xiaohu, of course, leaning to the bot side, that's, you know, very easy to say, but the extra step where Karsa allowed him to push out, because we've seen a lot of instances where people get really messed up by those uncoordinated 2v2 fights around mid, allows him to push up, and then suddenly Karsa invades. So really nailing down Ben 4 early on in this game.
It also makes sense that the Olaf was a high priority to be banned away by V5 in that phase too. especially considering that Karsa has been so good on it in the early stages of the game. And just continues to prowess forward. RNG almost had a visit there from Ben4 in the bottom lane, but he backed just in time. Or rather, didn't want to commit to the play, so safety there still for the bottom lane of RNG.
Now, Jinoo in this lane, going up with the Ruby Crystal as level 1 pickup because he's Vladimir, why not? You can go towards the Proto Belt with that one as well.
Yeah.
Not having to use Teleport here and AmezingJ immediately needing to use that, it's a major benefit to Jinoo. He can stay in the lane for however long he wants. He has the HP pool with the Ruby Crystal. He still has the potion that he's been able to pick up, 4 minutes long, not even needing to use it. He may get shoved in, that's fine. But just the teleport advantage that Victory 5 have here should be major influential. As you can see with the Karsa coming bot side. You have to clear out that ward or suddenly the play that you're making, Jinoo can come in the flank.
Means Ben4 can go into the top side though, only level 3. There is some outplayability from AmezingJ. But how far off is he of level 6? Well, we're going to find out as Ben4 comes in, not even near the wave, so it won't matter. The cage down, Jinoo zoned away as well. Ben4 doing this solo. Jinoo does look for the flash burnt by AmezingJ, rather doesn't burn one himself.
Yeah, look. If you're Jinoo, what are you even looking to do in that one? Ganking for a Vladimir is saying that, Vladimir is putting in about 0% of the work. He really only has damage, and early on in the game, he has 0 damage. So like, it's going to be Ben4 putting out all the pressure. And for Jinoo taking 2 tower shots, that really hurt him. So he's just going to be able to get a push here and look for a base.
At least he can push the wave in. That is a massive wave that is going to be denied. At least half of it from AmezingJ.
And these are just the laning phase mistakes that AmezingJ has been making as of late. Not only just like the 1v1 that we saw when he went up against Zoom, I believe, or 369 actually.
Okay.
And in this case, going up against Victory 5 and using his teleport so early on makes him a large target. He was shoving out without his jungler there, so we're gonna have to see if RNG could pick up advantage here.
Karsa's nowhere nearby because he's in the mid lane once again. Look at the wombo all the way down onto Korn. He'll come back, portal jump, won't save his life. Karsa not on the top lane, but the mid lane for sure.
So close to having his cleanse up. If he waited a little bit more, if he was playing a little bit more reserved, then he could walk up to the wave. It was just an instance where he didn't have the cleanse, went up too close, and then get bit for it.
By 15 seconds rather as well, so Korn's going to be kicking himself for that one. Going over to Xiaohu with turret plating, a 12 CS advantage, and denying this big wave.
Huge wave. It's not a cannon wave either, which means that you're just going to lose the entirety of it before you get back into it. Yep. This is simple and clean. You lose your life, Zoe doesn't have the escape, going to blink back out and in. So it's very easy for them to just look at their watch, say, okay, we're going to come back in about a second.
Yes.
Go get the kill.
So easily done as well. Xiaohu gets the kill, which will be a bigger concern for Korn, because going back, that's already about 1,800, no, rather 2,100 worth of gold that has just been spent by Xiaohu.
So what did I say about this series? Specifically going through the pick and ban. Victory 5 orchestrated a really smart pick and ban draft, but they really needed to focus on getting mid ahead early. If Zoe can get out of the laning phase pretty easily, then you're fine. You don't have to have that issue of wave clear versus Lissandra, going bot side versus Lissandra. Now they're behind. Now Ben4, like, he got a decent gank top side, but it didn't pay off. And then he got a, there was some 2v2s happening around mid lane, but he actually lost quite a bit of experience off of that. So giving Korn blue buff is wonderful. He can start to gain priority. He cannot get caught out by this.
Yeah.
Look at his flash timing. It's up so soon.
Korn is going to have to dodge out. Cataclysm's there. Korn, where is it? It's not there. And Karsa is instead. Just so easy here for RNG.
Full tilt, my friend. Literally, you have to be so angry. If I was in a situation, I'd be mad at myself.
It happened again.
He was so close off of his flash, and he gets killed with Cataclysm. So right now, in terms of just timing, Karsa has been on point.
Yeah.
Looking mid, just as the timing of Cleanse comes up, just as the timing of Flash comes up.
And I love it because Karsa didn't pop the Cataclysm before either. Xiaohu used the Frozen Tomb, knowing Cleanse wasn't up.
He loses another huge wave off of this.
Yes.
This is so insane. Right now, he's already a level behind. That's not an issue. And right now, Jinoo cannot get caught by this.
And it doesn't matter about the top side of the map because Jinoo is just going to get full blown out as well. The flash in from Ming. Look at the Yorick on. Hema Plague down. But the minions kill him instead. The Suns doing what they do best.
This is when you're just done.
Yeah.
Alicopter came top lane and gave yourself a lead. So now Jinoo behind because the Alistar roam top side and Uzi's just fine on his own.
Yeah, he's not in any threat from Lei whatsoever because Lei is trying to get some vision to keep his mid laner safe. Ben4's like, what do I do now?
AmezingJ has to watch out here. There's a great flank TP. Yeah, it's happening.
Okay, lockdown with the cage though. The flash when he comes out, Hextech ultimatum. This needs to go over to Jinoo if they can get him. Maiden of the Mist is down to Ben4, not in any trouble or fear of death. AmezingJ just playing out time here. He will go down. They give it over to Ben4 though.
Another huge mistake in the lane by AmezingJ. That's a cannon wave. You know that teleports up by Jinoo. Even if he TPs on the tower itself, Camille is going to look for just through a lane gank with her own hook shot. What are you going to be looking? You don't have flash there. So AmezingJ is not thinking far ahead enough. He's just trying to just mindlessly hit the turret, thinking he can get as much damage as possible.
Look, well, I agree with that. I got to say, the rest of the map is keeping him afloat though. With the jungle, the mid, even the bottom lane going so well with Ming roaming up. They're going to get themselves a Mountain Drake and RNG, still 3,000 gold ahead, so AmezingJ can make these mistakes, but he's got to be careful because if it keeps on happening, Jinoo will start getting to a point where it can be competitive across the map.
So straight from the beginning, Ming comes up topside, gets the gank. And remember, they're doing this with the wave as well, which means there's another wave immediately behind them that's going to be denied to the Vladimir. Teleport comes through right behind them, which was a great flank TP ward. But even if it was just the tower, I think they can get this gank across because Camille still has ultimate. And AmezingJ, what was initially a great situation set up by Ming, turns into an awful situation that, you know, AmezingJ overstays.
Yeah, that's right. And he's falling behind as well. He's 10 CS behind. Now, Ben4 did get the kill in that trade, but still for the Camille, that's going to get some of the momentum up for possibly the top side of the jungle because the bottom side is getting suffocated.
This is what I wanted to say, is that some of these top teams, RNG, IG, Suning at times as well, can speed up the game and make a new objective a reality. So this bottom lane tower, we're talking about Jinoo picking up the leads. This is Victory 5 needing to slow the game down. I don't know how they can do that with how quickly RNG's been moving through mid and bottom side.
It's 11 minutes in the game, Raz. There's so much turret plating, and it's going over to Uzi. It's a Karsa at 11 minutes in the game who is going to go back and pick up, remember, 9.2 Storm Razors this early on.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, Victory 5 is not making a bad trade by all means by this. Taking up Rift Herald and going topside with it is a good idea. But they're responding to a quick play with an even quicker play.
Yep.
They're clearing out towers, which is trading sides of the map. So just based off of what you should be doing as a team. Wait a minute, just before I say that.
Yeah, speeding up again. V5 going to match that tempo advantage, or rather make one themselves. Karsa coming in. Oh yeah, the turret is probably going to drop down here as well. Jinoo walks up for the auto attack. This is dangerous. Plague's down. Dragon Flag. Cataclysm down onto the ultimate. The Hextech ultimate already used. Ben4 has no mana. How's he going to escape? Slowed down from AmezingJ. Cage down as well. Ben4 again just going to get knocked into oblivion. Xiaohu takes a kill. Lays come in as well. 4 members of RNG just collapsed on. Great timing here. And the Maiden of the Mist is angry too. RNG all over this map.
The reason why Lissandra's passive was behind the wall was because just at the last millisecond, Lei flashes over.
Yeah.
He wasted his flash on that. Why did he even join the fight when it was a lost play? And why did he flash over when he knew that was going to be followed up on? Victory 5 are making random mistakes at this point. But I like the idea as I was going into it. Victory 5 trying to trade gold for gold, but the map is being opened up on. Bottom lane tower is being taken down. Now AmezingJ can split push in a situation where Jinoo just wants gold. So everything is going in favor of RNG, even the Screeching Demons.
Yeah, they're just making the ears burn, and Y4 has to heal to get away. Final hour even used. And even though AmezingJ is behind of the top lane matchup, he can still take on the Vayne because Y4 has had absolutely no priority this game.
Yeah, this is when suddenly, as we look towards what happened top lane, Karsa knew what he was getting into. Right in there, essentially 1v2 because AmezingJ was under tower. But I have stopwatch, I'm okay. Put as much damage as you can over here. I'm just going to try and trap you. Ben4 doesn't have mana for his hook shot, and he doesn't have flash. He's going to be a sitting duck here. So why does Galio join up? It makes no sense when he knows he's getting into a 1v, you know, maybe let's say at best a 3v5 situation. That's nonsense. And then at the last millisecond, he flashes over the wall. Yeah,
Korn couldn't even join the fight too, so with that key summoner being burnt from lane, things going very downhill, very fast. RNG with a 6k gold lead. And you saw before they broke open the mid lane outer turret. And that was just due to Xiaohu having such a lead, forcing off Korn, who, you know, it's been about the mid lane matchup here. It's been about, hey, Korn got Zoe. But those stats not looking too good this game is 0-2.
We did highlight the fact in Pick Ban that if this team falls behind, where is their wave clear? Yeah. It's good that Luden's just got picked up by Korn, but realistically, he's only going to be able to pick up the backline wave when Lissandra at this state of the game is going to push up an entire wave on her own. So she's going to be looking towards mid. And even if you pick up, let's say, 3 members from Victory 5 to hold the mid lane tower, they already have Yorick pushing out the bot side.
Yep.
Or they have members going top side. Speaking of top side.
Well, they're still trying to keep that tempo towards them for V5, or at least change fate. Glacial path in again. Is Xiaohu out? Maybe not yet. Goes invulnerable in the Hextech ultimatum. Ben 4 doesn't have any mana again. Just has the Hextech wall shot Corn. Trouble Bubble does land. This is an elongated fight for Y4 to come in. Xiaohu is dead, but the rest of RNG making moves across the map.
Why did they pick up Y4 topside? That's leaving your mid lane wide open. So, like, you don't need 3 people top. Unless if there is going to be a full committal from the side of RNG. But RNG was saying Xiaohu is going to be left on his own. So now you have 2 of your major carries top lane, and you're losing mid.
I was going to question, is Lei safe here? Should Lei be here? Probably not. But that's kind of the icing on the cake for how V5 are making these decisions.
Really just outmatched. I said that Victory 5 coming in this series must be prepared. You know, they looked all right. They looked healthy. They looked awake.
Yep.
But a lot of these mistakes are not mistakes, or at least mistakes that you see in the previous series. So it seems like they're getting intimidated by a lot of aspects because of how quickly the game is moving on and not in their own terms. So the only thing that I want to point out here, sure, this took a long time to get the kill. That's fine. You can just leave it at 2v1. But why is the Vayne making the trek from the blue side, her blue side jungle, all the way top lane? Did you need the extra help? I don't think you need that help. Ben 4 is going to be able to leave easily.
Yeah.
Corn was going to get the kill on, let's say, 1 more rotation of Q. So if Y4 is saying, I just need the gold, okay, great. You lost mid lane inner tower now.
Yep, it's 600 gold at the value of breaking the map even wider open. Y4 probably feels like he wants resources this game. He wants help. He's a Vayne. And he's in a mid game, which is just not in his favor whatsoever. Blade of the Ruined King is his first item, but he's still 40 CS behind, and I'm just going to be saying the same thing about each and every lane apart from top.
He's locked himself into a pretty long build, too.
Yeah.
What you see is what's going to be turning into a Zeal, probably into a Phantom Dancer that you're going to be seeing from Y4, and I would love to see a Winsu's Rage Blade.
Yep.
Winsu's Rage Blade, Blade of the Ruined King is a great 2-item spike for Vayne, and at this point in time, she needs the timing. She needs to be there, let's say in a team fight 25 minutes into the game. And I don't realistically see Phantom Dancer Blade of the Ruined King being ready, let's say 20 minutes in. Where right now RNG are looking to be able to take the inhibitor at that pace.
Realistically, who's going to protect Y4 at this point as well? Because Lei is just not tanky whatsoever. You see the difference. Did not think mid was that far gone.
Yeah.
Well, that's 3,000 gold. That's yikes.
Look, Lissandra bot side shows what RNG is doing. Splitting up the map. At this point, there's not enough wave clear on Victory 5 side before Baron's picked up for them to really stop these towers being taken away.
Early Corn, as you said before. Land the Sleep Trouble Bubble is trying to get rid of the rest of the wave, but still not enough. Karsa's here, you cheeky devil.
Yeah, Karsa's just playing the Warden of the South. Minion wave. Yeah, this is my swamp. But at that point, with a wave in front of Zoe, she's not even going to be able to get the pick on towards the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. So even if she wanted to, just look at what Karsa, you already talked about it. Karsa's just there for Corn to even act tough. Are you going to walk up? Yo, he is.
At least Ben 4's coming, but Xiaohu's already out before the Trouble Bubble connects. Lei's there too. But again, just pressure and priority.
The most important point of pressure right now, say that 4 times in a row, is top lane. AmezingJ has to pressure top side because there's not enough. Unless if okay, I really believed that was going to be a thing, by the way. But as long as he can threaten that top lane turret, you can see Vladimir coming top, which means that they can push mid at the same time. Uzi's doing that, and now they can focus bottom lane and realistically pick up that. So they can now put like 4 members bot lane as Vayne's holding mid, Vladimir's holding top. Only 3 people are dealing with 4 of RNG. That's how you really want to set it up, and I think they should be able to get this, if not on this wave, the next.
Oh my god, gonna have to be the next. At least Corn is landing. How did he hit Xiaohu?
All right, you know what? Scratch that plan.
All right.
Back to base we go.
They wanted time. V5 get a bit of time from that.
Yeah, so that was really nice. To be able to see Corn slow the game down, allow look, if Vladimir just wants to drive it on his death cap, he better thank Corn right now.
Yeah.
Being able to pick that out before the bot lane tower goes down.
Would have forced some big movements. Surprised we actually seen the rabbit on second.
So now what's Y4 doing? Like, I just talked about the fact that he needed the Rage Blade. He picks up components for Zeal, and then he's like, nah, brother, I don't need those. I'm going to put that to the side. That glove, I'm just feeling like really cold right now. So
yeah.
I I need metal gloves, metallic gloves to cover my hands. And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to go into Rage Blade.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? I don't want to be overly critical, but like...
That's alright.
Alright. I just want people to know how
There's got to be something in comms like, man, what are you doing? Like, what are you building? We need your Rage
No, we
Blade.
need those gloves.
Maybe it's worth it.
Maybe if he crits, that's the whole thing. That's the Trindamere strategy. If I crit once, it's worth it.
Yeah. And then if you don't crit at all, you go, well, this is a wasted buy.
No, it's worth it.
Okay. Well, we'll wait until he gets to the fight to discover that ourselves. He's still 50 CS behind. And he's half an item behind, so we want to see that Rage Blade, but Rage Blade going to come first out of Uzi. He hasn't fought, he hasn't needed to, but I guarantee right now I'd still pick Uzi in this 2v2 or in the whole fight.
He's a level off right now from getting his evolved Q, which is nice to say. That's when your base stats can pick you up and push you over the level for your Q.
Yep.
So that just means he's that much more stronger. Lined up really nicely with the Baron coming up in 5 seconds, so realistically RNG should now pivot all of that pressure they had bottom lane, keep Lissandra there because she has teleport, and just move towards the Baron. I would say they can just rush it too. Ming, just all he needs to do is he doesn't need to sit on top of the Baron, sit in a flank position. If Y4, Korn, or Ben4 rear their heads, then you can call for a fight.
They'll know where he is for the time being, but as you were mentioning before, look, there's no vision, so they're going to have to poke their heads in V5. Can't do that safely at the moment. They've got really shallow vision in their own blue side jungle, but that's about it. You can see as soon as that Baron came up, they wanted to prioritize it as Xiaohu's actually going to take the 1v1. Glacial Pass there, doesn't take it onto Jinoo as Crimson Rush comes available, but Xiaohu forcing out the top laner rather.
That was really cool to see. That just means that RNG can't go Baron with Karsa and with Xiaohu not having ultimate. So I guess that was just a part of the strategy. Push people off the map, push waves in underneath the tower so you can get another dragon for yourself. Double Mountain Dragon makes it so much easier to go towards Baron.
There's going to be a third as well, so you know what? Like, if it's not taken until that, well, I'm sure the third will just push it over the line.
And some of the strategies I love from some of these teams, like from Vici Gaming, is that if you're going towards your third elemental, like it would be a third Mountain Dragon in this case.
Yes, I remember.
Then you go top lane. I mean, you go towards the Baron buff, because the enemy team's so afraid of you getting another of the same element that they put all their vision bot side, and they're like, wait a second, we're going to have to now make the trip top side because another objective's under them.
I don't even get to that stage this game, but RNG, Ming's forced out once again. So V5, what little they lacked in the early game, making up for it here in the mid game, actually getting some damage off in some of these crucial picks to force RNG away and regain some of that vision. Yeah,
Rage Blade is picked up there from Y4, so you already saw how much damage he put down on the Alistar. Mid lane priority is that much easier now, so there you are. Victory 5 coming in there. I mean, Colonel doesn't believe in you, but I'm sure someone out there does.
You'd have to right now. You would if you have a Rabadon's death cap on your Vladimir. Fight's very possible now for V5, but still acting quietly, which is fair, being 8,000 gold down.
Victory 5 are losing a lot of waves on side lanes. Bottom lane's dying to tower, their tower's going to die very quickly, and top lane, they've lost so much wave and experience. So that's going to reflect in just the gold spread. Right now, really heavily in favor of RNG because of the earlier fights, but now just actively losing minions to towers. So you can keep the vision up top side, that you're just immediately going to lose. This is essentially what's happening here.
Yeah, so much harder to get through that jungle now as well for them. They're just still trying to find topside. It's Ben4 who's trying to be active. It has a GA second, but Cage just blocks them off. Wife is out of there.
Everyone got out in the getaway car.
Yeah. Pretty slick stuff. Pretty slow game from RNG, but then again, I mean, they're just waiting for that one team fight that'll break open the game even further open.
You know, economy right now is what Ben4 is riding in.
Oh, yeah?
So look at his items.
Yeah.
Just doing, he's going the bare minimum to be a team fighter.
Yeah.
The Guardian Angels, Warriors, and then just a pair of, like, socks, essentially. Just to be ready for the fight. Which makes him, like, he can go straight towards Uzi, provide enough space where Uzi can, like, decimate him twice for, like, maybe a span of 10 seconds. I'll say I'm being too generous. Maybe 8 seconds.
Okay.
While in the meantime, like right now, Y4 has to deal with AmezingJ Karsa for a much longer period. Gargoyle Stoneplate being picked up from Karsa is just like a little bit more effective. So we're gonna have to see how these team fights are set up. Victory 5 needs to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah. Might even start with Korn as well. Getting one of those trouble bubbles and landing everything on. Ben4 can follow up.
Yeah, Korn is really influential. Jinoo's, if he comes in at a, at a flank position with his Vladimir, can be super helpful. So you just need a great flank from a Vladimir or just the right sleepy trouble level.
Seagull's still sitting there waiting for its victim. RNG finally make the move. This is starting up. The screeching begins.
Oh my goodness, it's getting burned.
It's a loud pit. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 members. The whole family just takes it down. B5, they're like, we don't have any vision, we don't know, and we can't check it, so RNG take it.
That's how hard it was. Xiaohu wasn't even needed for that venture. It was the entirety, get out of there.
Karsa just sick of waiting around. He's like, I just want to get some blood.
Even if they get flashes here, if they can get Camille's flash, then it makes them get an easier target for Lissandra. It is so difficult for Victory 5 to find any way into this game.
They've been shut out from minute 3, minute 5. Somewhere so early on that you forgot where it was. Yep. 25 minutes in now, and RNG, they've got Baron, they've got comfy shoes, still dirty old socks in Ben4's inventory.
Look, at the end of the day, after that Nike deal, I feel like they all have comfortable shoes.
Oh, yeah.
It's just in the game that it doesn't translate.
I mean, I feel like Uzi just got, a bit of an upgrade.
Well, that's true.
So, I think he's already, the spokesperson. Xiaohu's in a good position here as well. Look at the collapse coming in from RNG. Karsa's in first, Raz.
You're going for it.
Dragon flagged. Lockdown here. Now Uzi's tagged into the backline with the hero's entrance in. GA going to be popped immediately. Ming is not taking any damage. Karsa and Xiaohu in from the side. Cataclysm over the wall hits 2. Karsa out immediately. Uzi jumps all the way in with Ming. Easy does it here. Karsa at low health as Jinoo flashes over. He just wants something. They'll find Korn as well. Xiaohu's got it back here, but look at AmezingJ in the side lane. Uzi still alive with Xiaohu, who doesn't have any mana, but the flash is coming forward. Uzi onto Korn. Angry old member. The grudge match there as AmezingJ looks to just end the game.
As it was coming to it, tit for tat, looked close, but you see in the bottom right, the left corner of your screen, it wasn't even. AmezingJ just has another objective in mind.
You have to say, what a straightforward game from RNG to close out Victory 5, not give them a chance to enter into this game 1. This is the RNG we know and love. They're decisive, they're controlled, their fights are on point. And in game 1, we'll be showcased that once again.
This was them going up against VG Gaming right after Chinese New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
And the debut of Uzi, this split, they have AmezingJ on split pushing duty, and they just choked out the rest of the map. This is RNG at their peak performance.
I mean, Uzi just looks so calm. Uzi entered one fight that game.
He did.
And it looked very, very simple.
I will say, that's a benefit to Victory 5. They really did try to slow the game down.
Yeah.
And I think Korn had one great, real good sleepy trouble bubble that did slow it down, that had to force them to base. And then they came back on the map, got another Mountain Dragon, and went straight for Baron. So the RNG god looked greatly down on RNG and said, you can get whatever you want, baby. You don't have to work hard for it.
Yeah, that's right. It's just going to come to, even though AmezingJ did struggle in the early part of that game, and part of the reason why Jinoo has a lot of that damage is because he was the one in that final fight who was doing most of the work there for Victory 5, but so far gone, just became harder.
On the final fight, I was just talking about the fact that RNG just wanted flashes. If they can get a flash, it's super easy to look to another target. In that last fight, they got Ben4's flash super easily.
Yeah.
He didn't even flash anywhere that was relevant. He's like, I will flash a meter to the left, not even behind a wall. So you can just easily follow me. Cataclysm to follow up, they kill Ben immediately and the people trying to protect him, and it just turns into a domino effect.
I was pretty surprised there from RNG though, that how calm, how patient the game was as well.
Yeah.
It was a good showing from, I guess, Karsa as a whole, and we talked about the perfect timing, Summoner's Korn in the mid lane.
Yes.
That's just what made the game.
I really hope the statisticians, whoever's out there going to be delivering the MVP, gives it to Karsa. Karsa is just that good. I think that he was the reason why they got those advantages through mid.
You know they might not, Raz. You know they might not. You don't always get your wish. That was game 1, but of course, Uzi has been making new friends overseas, especially with Double Lift as we look at our first pen pal. Take a look.
大师兄你好，新年快乐！今年是猪年，祝你诸事顺利。NA 66666。如果我们世界赛去了美国，你们会带我们去哪一家你经常去吃的餐厅呢？会推荐什么菜
If I had to pick one restaurant, maybe Japanese barbecue. There's a restaurant called Yazawa It's really good.
Travis 猫猫 Roman 和我同时约你打双排，你会选谁？
100% I would choose Uzi.
我在拳头的 MV 里已经 cos 了韦恩了，你觉得你欧晨麻辣香锅应该 cos 谁？
MLXG should cosplay Fiddlesticks. I'll cosplay probably like a hot girl, like Sona or MF. That'd be interesting. I always wanted to try cross-dressing. Reckless is like he's like Olaf, the Viking dude.
韦恩这个版本又加强了，你觉得我的韦恩厉害还是你的厉害？
Ooh, that's hard. I think my Vayne is pretty sick. We'll have to find out. I want to play Vayne. I think playing Vayne against each other is actually too cocky because Vayne's lane is still terrible. So it's gonna be too hard early game. What are your favorite games other than League of all time? So like top 3 games of all time?
其实我玩游戏玩的特别多，就玩的多的可能就是那个绝地求生吧，还有英雄联盟，对，就是其实什么游戏都有玩。
What do you play when you're not playing League, or do you just not play any other games?
其实是什么游戏都玩，对，然后平时可能绝地求生会玩的多一点。
What's your favorite food to eat?
最喜欢吃的应该是肉类的东西吧，就所有的瘦肉。
What's your favorite thing to do other than playing games?
最喜欢做的事情就还是打游戏吧，就自己平时休息的时候也非常喜欢玩游戏。
Oh, who do you think is like the cutest female League character?
最可爱吗？我觉得努努吧，因为不管是长相方面还是就是性能方面都还是比较的好玩的。
What was it like to play with Mata in Season 6? I'm actually specifically wondering if you guys fought a lot, or if it was just really chill.
S6跟玛塔搭档，感觉他是一个在对于团队帮助方面是特别强的一个人嘛，他可以带领一个队伍去进步，然后我们也算是朋友，因为平时可能也聊天比较少吧，因为语言不通，所以聊天比较少。
I wonder if you're friends with any other AD carries in LPL, or if it's just like this weird, too much respect thing.
好像也没有就是那种聊天特别多的吧，但是大家都互相还是会去，就是如果见面还是会去聊天一下，就互相开一下玩笑。
Oh, I also want to ask if you remember the time where I walked into your hotel room and you had your shirt off and you were watching TV in Season 2. Or maybe it was Season 3. But I walked into your room with Tabe. Back when it was, oh my god, it was like Royal Club Tabe. Cool, man, it's fine.
我不太记得了，但是因为到现在都自己比较怕热嘛，应该没穿衣服，没有穿 T 恤，应该这种情形出现的挺多的。